Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. Today, I'm very excited to be with you, along with our creative director, Dallas Kemp, and of course, I'm director of product development. That's the title. There we go. It's Wednesday. I don't know my title. We're here today for our second week installment of our My Star Wars Legion Gathering Forces event over the course of May. For those of you who missed last week or maybe don't exactly know what Gathering Forces is, effectively the four people from the studio, myself, Dallas Kemp, Michael Plummer, and John Schaefer, all decided to, over the course of the next 4 weeks, build and paint a full Legion skirmish force, from which we can expand upon and create full armies and maybe even make grand armies if we like it. So this is kind of just us going through the hobby journey, talking about our choices and our ideas, why we're doing things we're doing, hopefully adding some inspiration, giving some quick tips, ways to approach doing your own Legion forces for those who maybe are looking for a new challenge, looking for a new faction, wanting to just add to your existing faction. So with that, I'm going to get this camera off of me, get it onto the stars of the show. Welcome Dallas Kemp to the stream, all that good stuff. So here we are.
We're doing it.
We're doing it live. It's always live.
It's always live. It's always live at Atomic Mass.
Is it always live at Atomic Mass? It's true.
I mean,
we do everything live. There's nothing like planned ahead of time. It's just all, we're very much an improv troupe. That's basically our lives.
Much to the chagrin of some.
It's true, but to the joy of others, you know.
I think
necessity is the mother of creativity, as they say.
It's true. Wait, what?
Yeah. I mean, invention, creativity, it's the same thing. So I think it totally works.
I accept.
So you actually did a couple of initial steps. If folks tuned in last week, they saw you doing the basic white armor, like your base coats on stream. Today, because you have so many units of phase 2s to do, you've kind of taken in to the next step, right? So these ones already have the white down there, Dallas?
Yeah, I thought, we only paint for an hour, and it's the same color scheme on all my troops. And if I only paint for an hour and I start on the stream, you're only going to see the beginning steps. So I wanted to kick up and show some of the later steps. So I did some preliminary shading. So I did the shading steps on the white. Now I'm going to block everything in with black, and then we're going to do the really fun steps on the white, because that's the part that makes the white really work.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
reclaim the colors.
Yeah, reclaim and highlight them, and it makes it really interesting looking.
I know yesterday in the office you were kind of explaining the whole process to me. I'm sure everyone in chat who has to paint lots of white armor, which in Star Wars there's a lot of white armor, would love to get the whole lowdown if they missed last week as well.
We can do that.
You can do it. I know you can. You can do it live, because here we are.
Here we are live, doing it live, as usual. So the goal here was I wanted a nice grungy white. So I mixed up my own batch of white. It's just a bunch of random nonsense colors. Because I don't use pure white until the very, very end. Like, that's just not how you paint white. You don't just slop on titanium white and call it white. So a nice off-white is super useful here. Then I use rainy gray to sort of pre-shade. And then I use a dark gray to do like the dark lines in the white. And then what's going to happen, I'm going to paint all this black first. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to add a light blue. And I know that probably sounds weird, but the light blue represents, if you look at white, white is all colors reflecting black back at your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see like a bunch of different colors in white if you really isolate them with your eyes. So I'm going to use light blue to make that visually interesting. And then I'm going to use pure white highlights, and then that's how I make my white. And it looks really sharp. Whoops. And I'm going to make a mess, and that's okay.
Are you really painting if you're not making a mess, though? I mean, honestly.
True.
It's just how it works.
And also during this black step, I'm like isolating armor plates and stuff like that, but I'm also gonna add like little scritches into the white.
Mm-hmm.
The
Just give it
little
that extra like life lived in feel.
hey, the lucky 13th have seen better days.
It's true. I was gonna say there's a whole narrative approach behind kind of your color scheme and how you've chosen to do things and all of that.
These fellas are out on the outer rim, living life,
Getting dusty.
getting dirty.
Well, I know you're also adding a little bit of browns to your finished product as well. Some like light weathering, using some thinned out like burnt siennas and other kind of dusty colors, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that stuff. At the very end, when it's all done, I take burnt sienna and I do a glaze, uh, preferably from the waist down. I don't like putting it above the waist because I want to show that it's dusty. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll throw it up on the chest, just to add a little more, because then that adds warmth to the white armor. Once again, white is the reflection of all colors coming back to your eyes. So adding warmth to the already cold gives it more
Mm-hmm.
life, gives it more. That's what makes it look white, and it looks really good. What about you? Is that Holder blue over Zenith? Like I'm
Of
guessing.
course, hold your blue. Yeah. So, um, I went back and forth a lot on what I wanted to do with my color scheme. I didn't want to do white. I was really looking for something a little different for this Imperial Force, especially because it's frontlined by two giant space lizards. So it's due back 4/6, um, and so I was kind of going through colors and stuff, and I landed on. I did a couple of different tests. I tried some metallic red. I tried red and black. I kind of wanted to avoid, a lot of the times you don't want to paint white, so you just immediately go straight to black. Um, and I wanted to try something like different. I really like Hold Your Blue, but I also wanted it to be quick. Again, when you're painting a whole army, especially in like 4 weeks, you want to find all of the little, you know, efficient cheats that you can. We do a lot of on the stream. We've painted a lot of blacks with Hold Your Blue and stuff. And I know Hold Your Blue is just such a potent color that it washes really well and creates this really cool kind of look. So what I decided to do, and I can show, this is one of the snow troopers that I finished and did last week on stream. So this is the overall like color scheme for the army. It's the blue armor. You've got a lot of like different tones of blacks. You got the blue black for the capes, and then we have like a gray black for the pants and that kind of stuff, and then really warm brown leathers to give it that pop of color.
Yeah.
So by using Hold Your Blue, I can basically just do a whole initial wash of Hold Your Blue. The armor is done now. Basically, I'm going to do a quick blue, like a darker blue wash once this dries, just to bring in the shadings and the shadows, and then I just go in and I can use a black wash over the Hold Your Blue to create a really nice blue black. And effectively, at that point, it's like paint the pouches and you're done. So it's just really quick, really simple, really striking, and it has a lot of good contrast, and yet it complements each other because that Hold Your Blue is the undertone for the black and all of that good stuff. So it allows me to knock out like that Snowtrooper unit. I think took probably 2 hours to do overall, which for 5 miniatures is super good.
So you're
And
going
lets you
way faster than me.
just go through things really quick. And I like, obviously I'm kind of taking the approach of that very standard tabletop like mentality, right? I'm trying to paint something that cohesively looks really good and looks really like nice on the tabletop, but it's not something that's going to go to competition. It's not something that like each individual is not going to be a standout.
And then I
Each
did this nonsense.
Right. So I think it's really cool. There's a lot of different approaches to take. And I've certainly painted, like the clone force that I painted, I did go through and I made every clone kind of unique with its own markings, and I used oil washes and stuff. And those units take, twice the time as these Imperial units do. But again, I think, especially for this, in terms of inspiring and giving ideas and options, it's like you want to cover the whole gamut, right? And sometimes I just want to get an army done and on the table, and I want it to look like good enough so that I can play with it and enjoy it and then move on to the next project. And
Yeah,
sometimes you have those projects that really inspire you, and you're like, I'm going to take all the time in the world on this because this is my love.
I like that we all kind of like are approaching all this different, which is the whole point of this whole, series. Is like you spent how long on the unit? 3 hours?
Probably about 2.5 hours. Like, I haven't finished basing, but when I do an army project like this, I like to do the basing all at the end at the same time
Yeah,
so that it's all cohesive, because the base is something that really ties everything together really well.
yeah. And then like for me, my one unit clone troopers took um, the approximate hour on stream, a couple hours on Saturday, and a couple hours on Sunday night. So I think all said maybe 6 hours. So I think almost double the time. But I'm adding, that like I just showed a freehand skull. Like I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
dumb stuff like that. I guess not dumb. Just I'm just
Yeah.
approaching my army a little different, but still fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like so many different levels of army painting and what you're trying to accomplish and stuff that I think, again, it just comes down to like, what do you want? What's your passion projects? For me, the clone army that I have, just because I love, like many people, I think the Clone Wars enamored me of the Clone Army and the Galactic Republic and stuff. That's the army that really inspires me to want to be creative in terms of like taking my extra time. And I think you talked about it with John, like naming all your clones and stuff. I totally did that.
Yeah,
I give every clone kind of a name, and then that defines how I approach the markings and how, I just want to like knock things through, and that obviously makes me inspired to spend a little bit more time on things like doing each trooper as more of an individual. Where here with the Empire Army, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun, and it's gonna be kind of zany, and I'm excited to play it because it is very thematic, and I like the overall kind of story the force composition tells with the two dewbacks and all that. And I'll throw up our army list here in a second so that people can see exactly what we went for. But it's like, to me, each trooper is just a faceless like target for the opponent to shoot at while I shoot back.
I'm not saying I haven't thought about us because like the Lucky 13s, I made a comment that maybe every single CT number has 1-3 somewhere in it on my
Mm-hmm.
squad or my force, and I was like, CT 13013 is totally Bob.
Bob.
Well, because if you
See.
put 1 and 3 real close to each other, it
Uh
makes
huh. Uh
B's.
huh. Makes bees. Uh huh. Sure.
So that's clone Bob. It's
I like it.
CT
I like it.
13013.
Uh huh. Clone Bob, which not a super common name, I don't think, in the Star Wars universe. You don't hear a lot of Bobs.
Not a lot of Bobs. All right, now I'm gonna put little scritches. Ah, I should do the blue first.
All
I
right,
need to
I'm
do
gonna
blue.
throw just really quick. Things are happening. I'm gonna put up these army lists so folks can see in the chat kind of. So we showed these last week, but it's always good to kind of get a refresher on what's going on. So for my list, again, like for me, I started with the core idea of I wanted to paint as many dewbacks as possible because I think that unit just looks really cool. And the idea of making like a space dinosaur army was just too neat. So I started the list with 2 dewbacks, and then I kind of filled in from there. I liked the idea of it being some kind of weird elite Imperial force, so I avoided using basic stormtroopers. Instead, I went for shore troopers and snow troopers. I did do a little conversion work on my dewbacks, and by a little, I mean a very small amount. I just grabbed some Death Trooper helmets and I put them on top of. I swapped out the normal Stormtrooper helmets for the Death Trooper helmets, so they look a little different. I assume that, based on just kind of the composition, whatever planet my force is occupying right now, is protecting, is pretty inhospitable outside of like having environmental gear. So that's hence the snow troopers, and I think the shore troopers have that cool like kind of high end survival look to them as well. And then I went with Iden Versio for the commander. I think that she'll bring a lot of really cool stuff. My original thinking right now is that I'm probably not going to treat her as Iden. I'll come up with some cool commandery name for her.
Like
Um,
Jeff Drexler?
like Jeff Brexler, which is the name we came up for Plumber's Commander. Um, but yeah, I wanted to fit the narrative. And of course, I made sure that I used the helmeted version for her as well, because I didn't want any bare heads, like ruining the idea that you have to be wearing heavy environmental gear wherever they are. And that will tie back into the basing. And I think right now, someone in chat made the mention that if I go with like really hot orange magma bases, I'll get that nice tetrarchy from my color scheme so far. So I'm probably going to wind up doing that.
That's true. I like it. We even discussed lava theme for you for a little bit.
We did. Well, it was either going to be lava or ice. We knew lava or ice was going to be the thing. So, and then for you, walk us through your list. So we already know they're the lucky 13th.
The lucky 13s. Yeah. So I took a generic clone commander. I think I'm the only one that took a unnamed commander.
Well, technically, Plumber took an unnamed commander, but he also took Operative Luke, I think. So,
that's right. He spent his points elsewhere.
He did. He did.
Mine, honestly, I didn't even start there. I started with the TX-130 Saber tank. I'm going to be really honest. I wanted a tank because I love tanks.
Tanks are cool.
And I had to put in a veteran clone pilot because if I have a tank, the guy who drives it is really awesome at it. And then I took the clone commander, and I kind of wanted to like show like that like rough and tumble, no nonsense squad of troopers, so strict orders and endurance. And then every other unit has endurance. Like I want to show these clones are, these are no nonsense clones.
Right.
Lucky 13s. They've been through hell and back.
There's no shinies in your outfit.
That's right. That's right. There's no. They're who you call. I was getting ready to do the A-team thing. So then the 2 units of clones, one with the I can't remember, the Z6.
Z6.
And then another one with the engineer. The engineer's there for the tank. I'm supporting that tank once again. And then just because I love the miniatures, I took ARC Troopers, I took a Strike Force, and this is my converted long rifle that I have him standing up instead of crouching. Because I just thought that was neat to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I like taking the chance, obviously, to personalize your forces, and especially if you have some spare parts lying around or whatever, like go for it, right?
Go for it.
Change them up. And you certainly had plenty of extra ARC Trooper bits to kind of make that guy, since you only wanted the Strike Force for this Legion set.
Yeah, I just wanted the one. I just wanted the Strike Force, so I actually used for my test piece. I used one of the other ARC Troopers and just made my own Captain Rex. Look at him. Which I'm actually not in my list, but he was my test miniature.
But he could be someday,
Yeah, if we bump it up to higher point levels.
Or, you swap out some upgrades and some other things, and like you could have a Captain Rex.
It's true.
You too could have a Captain Rex.
If I ain't taking out the tank.
I mean, taking out the Saber tank would open up all kinds of opportunities for you.
We don't do that here.
It seems to me it's more like maybe losing a heavy weapon, or you don't need a lot of points to get the Rex in compared to the base clone commander. So you could definitely do it. You could definitely have that flexibility, I think, pretty easy.
My paint got away from me.
No. We also at some point have to show off. So I mentioned at the start of the stream and stuff, we asked the community out there and folks in chat and all of that through the Gathering Forces stuff to share their own hobby projects for the month of May with us. show off their gathering forces that they've been working on, and I have some really cool images to show off that we can talk about from the staff picks of folks that were posting hashtag my Star Wars Legion, hashtag gathering forces on Instagram. And then John and Michael, when they do their stream on Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific, they'll be showing off some more choices that we had from those hashtags as well. And so there's some really cool stuff. It's always inspiring. I love watching what other people are doing and kind of getting inspired and getting cool ideas from the community as well. Just makes you want to keep going with that stuff.
Is Pally Sass, are you still here? Pally Sass has to see a close up of that emblem I painted. If they're still here, I will zoom in on that. I didn't see the comment earlier. I am super excited about those my gathering forces. I saw the pictures earlier. And May got excited about an ATST.
I did know that you were excited about that, so we can talk about that one as well. It is on our set to show here. So we'll bring those on shortly, and we can kind of ooh and ah over the cool stuff that the community is doing for sure.
So one helmet got a skull. One helmet got some like crack marks. They all have like different teeth styling on their helmets. And then this fella got tick marks.
For how many droids he's destroyed?
So how many clankers?
So rude.
Clankers
are people too. Clankers are people too. They get up and put on their robot pants one leg at a time, the same as you. The same as you.
It's not true, and I don't like this separatist propaganda.
Look, I don't understand how anyone can hold ill will against B1s. All the other droid types, sure, I get that, but B1s, they're adorable. They're the least menacing thing in Star Wars.
What's the best line from a B1? I know my favorite line.
Oh, what's your favorite line? Let's hear it.
What? Now I feel like I'm on the spot.
You are on the spot because you put yourself there.
I did. I was waiting for you. I asked you the question. That's not how interviews work.
Smart interviewees turn the question back around on the asker.
This is terrible.
For you, maybe, not for me.
I just love when they say, when they're like, "Oh no, a Jedi."
A Jedi? Oh no! It's true. I always like the, looks like I'm in charge now, and then that person immediately dies.
Yeah, just like immediately.
They're immediately destroyed.
Berserked.
The one that had us in stitches in the office the other day when we were talking about things was, I hate this job.
I hate this job.
Like, you're a droid, you didn't even have a choice, but that just proves, again, that they are the most adorable and least dangerous droids ever. They're just misunderstood. That's all there is to it. They're actually true pacifists at heart.
So this is that step I was talking about earlier. So like I kind of clean up any mess I make with this very, very light blue. And this adds cold to that white. And this is going to be super important later when we add warm to the white and when we add cold to the black. Ooh, so many layers of color.
I think chat's nailed it. This army clearly has to be called Huldra Squad, and I'm here for it.
I am 100% in.
It sounds, it sounds like more than just a paint name. It sounds pretty hardcore, so we'll go with it. Huldra Squad. Hux Holdra, that will be my commander's name.
Oh, I like it. You said Dewback 4-6 earlier, and I was just like, so it's DF VI?
Yeah, yeah. Dviv.
Diviv.
I think Holdra Squad is the winner though, with Hux Holdra.
Hux Holdra.
Holdra's heroes. No Holdra. They're
Yeah.
not heroes. Maybe we need an H like Hux is maybe Hux is not quite right because we're using Aiden as the commander, so we need like the lady version of Hux, the more female name version, I guess. Heather doesn't sound like a very Star Warsy name though. Heather Holdra. It's got to have an H though. It must be alliterative. That's my one rule. So don't bother me. H Ux? Holdress assassins.
Whoa.
Maybe if they were, in a desert world or something. Not a magma world. The assassin. I don't quite think so. Plus they're riding giant space dinosaurs. Like there's Helena.
It's not really an assassin squad, is it?
It's not so much. I don't think I guess kind of. They're just not very sneaky. You always think of assassins as being pretty sneaky, able to blend in, but I suppose that's not the only way to, live that life.
I mean, that's the best kind of assassin. You're just like, that's a giant lizard. That's obviously not an assassin. Oh no!
That's right. No one would try to, sneak into a party on a giant space lizard. They're clearly here with the entertainment, and then it's like, no, no. He was just here to burn everything down. Do I like that? Do I not like that? I have a small window to fix it if I don't.
That's the best part. Scritches.
Scritches are pretty cool. Holdra hand. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm really undecided on this. Maybe it's okay. Like we're just doing this live. Once again, I'm painting without a plan.
That's
and
the best way to paint.
All kinds of random choices here. Live on stream for me to mess up and be like, oh, I don't like this at all. I guess I'll go back and fix it later. But that's okay.
Chomp Assassin. I love it. Hurricane Girl said, Chomp Assassin.
Chomp Assassin?
That's what happens when you get assassinated by a dewback. You get Chomp Assassinated.
You get Chomp Assassinated? Yeah, I'm in for that. I get it. I'm down. I'm hip. I'm wise. I kind of like that for the helmets. I think that could work. Do you realize I forgot to paint this guy's gloves, though? Oops-a-doodle. Easy fix.
Oopsie doodles.
We still have all of our black here, so it's not a problem. Not a problem.
You always got to add chips to the front of the hand guards.
Do you?
Always, yeah, well, that's always where things are going to get beat up a lot.
That's where the chips would happen. I mean, or you could just pay more attention to keeping your gear in good shape, and then there would be no chips. You see,
it's hard to keep gear in good shape out here.
You could follow standard protocol regs and not look like a disheveled mess. You see, this is already when the Jedi generals come for inspection. This is already the plot point. This is where things are going to definitely get a little touchy.
You know how long we've been behind enemy lines?
Clearly you're not behind enemy lines because the Jedi just came to visit you. So
I'm pretty sure those Jedi go where they want. I've seen it.
They are scoundrels that way. They obey no laws but their own. For sure.
This is a conversation I need Josh for, so I can
Josh would just get really red faced and mad, and stop. He wouldn't. He wouldn't. He wouldn't discuss it.
tell him the evil ways of those Jedi's.
I mean, I don't think you're there yet, but you're on your way. You're on your way to see the light. Hold your squad. They know. They know all about it. They've heard the stories. Those rebellious Galactic Republic overthrowing Jedi's.
Hurricane Girl gets it. If there's no plan, the plan can't go awry.
That's true. It's also really hard to tell if you succeeded or not, though, because there's no goalpost. I guess you just determine. You're like, I have met my objectives. And
You
honestly,
can have
my
objectives without plans.
Sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to define those objectives. I mean, we have an easy one here. It's get paint on these cool miniatures and finish them. So whatever gets us to that point, there's really no wrong answer here. Which is why I'm okay just doing some really crazy jazzer painting, as I call it.
If stuff is on fire, you win. That's what Hurricane Girl says.
Oh, well, I took a lot of fire weapons, so. Oh, it can't be my own stuff? I don't know if Dallas is going to take too kindly to me setting his stuff on fire.
Oh, rude.
I know, see? Kind of already do that to his work deadlines.
That's so true.
I just come in and I'm like, what if we did this?
Let's
What if
do
we did this instead?
I already concepted this. Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to concept it for us to know that we could do it better, you see.
Oh.
You have to accept the fact that all creative work is mostly trashing the work you already did.
It's true. We understand that here a lot. See, now I'm finally going with the pure white. And I'm just doing edges and little dots and scritches. And I'll just put like a random dot just like here in the shadow. Just boop, just a white dot.
Boop.
Boop.
Finish this black so that I can call it good before I let it dry out on the palette. And then I'm going to put up some cool community shots that we can talk about. Because we're already 30 minutes in. Feels like it's only been 5. Here. Do that.
Doop. Oh, that dot's big, but that's fine.
Dupe. Oh, it's a big scratch? Well, it's okay because all anybody can see are your glasses, sir.
Oh,
We're just kind of getting the Bean John Malkovich approach here. We're just seeing it through the faintness of your rims.
Sometimes that's just the way you gotta view life.
Sometimes it's true.
Through other people's eyes.
Angry eyes, diamond eyes, Betty Davis eyes,
Marty Feldman eyes.
I don't think that's a song, but sure.
But it fits if you change the lyrics to Betty Davis eyes to Marty Feldman eyes. It works.
Marty Feldman. She's got Marty Feldman's eyes. Whoa.
Yeah.
That totally changes the tenor of that song, I think. I don't think we need to release the Bean Dallas Kemp cut because we're already living it right now, chat. You're seeing it live.
Some of these poor fools have to live it every day.
That's true. Some of us do. We are blessed enough to get to just live it live.
That's not the word you want to use.
Blessed? I'll use it. Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
I don't know what this doodad is on top of the Shore Trooper helmet. It kind of seems like it's supposed to be like a sunglass visor, so I think that's what we're going to pretend it is, but
I like the idea that it's a sunglass bug.
Why? I mean, they're shore troopers, right? It's very sunny, so the mask alone isn't enough. Okay, we're done with that. Let's clean out this brush. Come over here. So we'll start with this guy. Oops. Let's mess around here. And that off. Turn it off there. Okay, so here's our first one. This is our awesome ATST that we were talking about.
Yeah, that thing looks awesome.
Yeah, so of course, just an amazing take on ATST, the weathering, the colors. I love the green glow in the cockpit. It's just definitely has that sinister, like you don't want to see this coming over the top.
I
If
do.
you're some poor rebel trooper. So that was a super fun one. And I would love to see the rest of the army that goes with it because I'm sure it just looks fantastic.
Agree.
Next up, we have the super awesome by Grandpa Pa Nurgle, this B2 clone squad. Of course, John's going to pick B2 clone squads because that's what he's painting. He's all about the B2s right now. But these are great. I love the winter theme, the bright poppy colors for the alien plants, the leader being like really different. So it's just a really fun color scheme. It's very it looks like it's off a synthwave album cover, to be honest.
The reverse leader is my favorite part. I think that works so good for that squad.
Yeah. Yeah, it really calls out the leader, and of course it just adds that extra like visual interest, that contrast to the rest of the unit. That comes out really cool. And then the last one that we have, you got a little bit of that Coruscant Guard vibe from the Clone Wars, but applied to some stormtroopers. So here you go. This is clearly what the Coruscant Guard kind of evolved into, but the reds and the whites, of course, very striking. Red and white's great color combination. Just super cool and a lot of fun as well. They also obviously Pinky McPaint takes into account some of the stuff you're doing with your whites too. You can see how it's not pure white. There's a lot of warmth to it.
Yeah, there's a lot
Definitely
of
more of
warmth
a
to that, and like
yeah.
those red bits really work good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, using more of the yellow white, it complements the reds really well. Yeah, everything just comes together really nice, and it's very clean and good to go. They definitely look like they are part of a TM, 100%.
Over there, sir.
Over there? Over where? Over there. All right, I'm gonna come in and start working on the pants, the pantalones, if you will. Got these gents, and I think we'll do the blue wash maybe if we have time. We got 20 minutes to go. I think we'll be good. So I'm also going to use some rainy gray for my pants. Boop boop.
Such a pleasant little color.
It is. It's a great gray. Works really well just as a base coat with a black wash over top of it too to create kind of a neutral toned color. Oh dear. What is that? A little smoots in our palette. That's what I get for never cleaning my palette.
Got some schmutz.
Some schmutz. Yeah. It's okay. Nobody will ever notice.
Palette schmutz is the worst.
Palette schmutz is not the best. There's no doubt. And the schmutz caused me to pull off camera a little bit. But yeah, Rainy Gray is super great. Huldra, obviously. The thing that I haven't done yet, which I would kind of like to, I need to practice my purple black game. Start using some purple undertones for the blacks.
Yeah, adding purple to black looks really good.
And purple is probably my favorite color to paint, so
Adding a bit of magenta here and there. Yes, yes.
yeah. Got that nice poppy warm color to your black. Pantalones, indeed. Empire issue pantalones, as it were. Which are the best type of pantalones? Of course, one of the things that we talked about initially is using a lot of washing and base colors and undertones. It allows me to paint pretty loose and fast and not have to worry about a lot of like over slop, so I don't have to be super cautious around most areas because it'll get obscured by similar washing, which is of course a really big benefit as well to getting units painted fairly quickly.
I told you about like doing like tonal before doing your like tonal layers before laying down your glazes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, which I mean is sort of what I'm doing with that Huldra blue and the blacks.
yeah, I want to get deeper into that on a project. I just haven't found my project for that.
Just haven't found it right yet.
I do it here and there, like in little spots, but like I want to do an actual project that's really utilizes it. I think a vehicle would be like a good spot. Not my tank though, because my tank has to match these clones.
It doesn't have to. You just want it to.
Yeah, it's got
Large difference.
it. It's
Overslop is a great word, Hurricane Girl. It comes from all of my time in Montana. You get that overslop. Usually it winds up on your shoes.
So you put too much corn in the pig trough.
That's right. A little too liquidy. Get that overslop. We gotta start getting in some practice games too, so that when the June face-off comes around, after we do all this work in the month of May, we start playing all the
I'll
games.
know what I'm doing.
Yeah, everyone needs to kind of know what they're doing. Well, Plummer will know. He's been playing Rebels for a while. I've only really played clones in Legion so far, so I have to learn the ins and outs of my Empire choices here.
We're painting, Barbaricker. That's what's going
Painting.
on. We're painting.
That is pretty much the whole month of May. It's like May is hobby month. We got this going on with Legion, so the Gathering Forces. We're doing all the other streams are heavily based around painting and getting armies and rosters and squads ready. It's kind of all devoted to getting ready for summer. Now that we hopefully, based on your area, depending on where you are in the world and everything, you're seeing a light at the end of the long tunnel that started last year between vaccines and all of that stuff. So we're ready. We're chomping at the bit to get out there. And we did a little bit of playing. We've done a couple of games on stream since April, but I think June's going to be off the chain when it comes to that stuff. Just going to kind of take a month and do all kinds of crazy stuff gameplay wise, and this is the stuff going forward.
Adam G157 knows I put the communicator backpack on my clone commander.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just took that upgrade kit and those extra ARC troopers and just kind of had fun, and just I thought it'd be cool. Like I like my leaders looking, kind of heavily geared. So I thought it'd be cool. Yeah, he's got the communicator pack on his back. He's got a communicator. He's got the hollow disc in his hand. He's got a little antenna on his shoulder. This guy can talk to anyone.
Anyone.
He's got 5G.
Oh dear. Most specifically, he can talk to one Emperor Palpatine about a specific order that comes after Order 65. We know.
Whoa.
We know what he's doing.
Whoa. Whoa, this is more of this propaganda.
In
That
the annals of, you know, Clone War history, no outfit was as zealous about completing Order 66 than the Lucky 13th were.
whoa, this is straight up propaganda now.
This is just the way that it works, you know?
Why am I
This is
always the
just
bad guy?
this is how. Look, you keep picking bad guy armies. What can I say? Also, you're the one putting that qualifier on it. As we already established, the Jedi were the ones just flouting all the rules. They
It's
were
true.
the problem.
It's true.
I mean, if you've watched the Clone Wars, you know that that is just true fact.
True science fact.
I think it's cute how chat assumes that my plain Empire means that I know I'm the bad guy. 100% not the bad guy. I picked the Empire because they're the heroes of the story. I'm all about bringing order to a lawless land. Like every great Western has taught us over time.
You're just the Clint Eastwood of Star Wars.
Yeah, we're just, Lone Ranger, all that stuff. We're just trying to bring a little peace and order to the universe, that's all. Trying to make it safe for all those settlers out there to eke out a living on the outer rim. If you lived on the planet where Jeff Rexler lived, you would know who the good guy is. It's not Jeff who's always running and blowing things up in town and then just, gallivanting off to the hills with his merry band of miscreants. It's poor Huldra squad, just trying to keep things and people safe.
That's slanderous.
Is it? Seems pretty spot on to me. You know what's nicer than hills, chat? Having a house. You know what happens when you have a house, though? Jeff Brexler shows up and ruins it. All in the name of freedom, but it's his freedom. He doesn't care about your freedom. So see, how could you be the bad guy, Dallas? I'm on your team.
It's true.
We're one and the same. We're just unsung heroes in faceless armor.
I need a song about this now.
You could make one right now.
We could. The only problem is I feel like it'd be a little too derivative.
Oh?
Inside my head, like my head is pulling out songs from. Yeah, that's too derivative. Okay, just clone captain these sick goggles. I gotta really get that skull motif going on now.
All skulls, huh? 13-year-old Dallas is just as excited as ever.
Yeah.
I mean, look. If you're in a war zone, skulls are just going to be your go-to. It's not going to be a happy place. You're not going to put like butterflies and stuff on. I get it.
Exactly.
But really, it should be droid skulls. But droids don't have skulls, and you probably don't want to just paint a droid head on your helmet because I think that sends the wrong message. So it's pretty difficult. I mean, you think about the challenges of intimidating your opponents in the Clone Wars. It's a little challenging. It's like, what do you do? Luckily, they programmed B1s with fear, which again just means that they were not designed for war. They were designed to be adorable. So I think the last thing you want is your droid murder army to be like, I know what mortality is, and I'm very afraid of it. That's how you grow a conscience.
Yeah, when you have a droid that has existential dread.
Yeah. It's like, have I done enough with my life? They already hate their job, so I mean, you failed there. They don't even want to do what they're told to do because they know it's a bad idea. Or B1s.
I've got a bad feeling about this. Scroll motif. Maybe this guy was. Oh, so I think my clone commander. I think this guy's just gonna get straight up skull on his on his like armor plate right here.
Oh my
That'll look
goodness.
cool.
There's no question who the boss is. Skull Guy.
He's gonna get a pure black arm gauntlet. Because I'm kind of customizing each clone's armor, so they have different black panels than each other.
Well, yeah, they got to personalize. It's part of that, like making up for being a clone.
It's true.
Face-wise, they look all the same at their start, but you got to customize. Haircut, tattoos, scars, battle wounds, armor.
TK13013.
CT, sir. TKs are my designations.
I know.
All right.
Oh, I need a pistolero with a right hand.
You could do that. There's definitely options for that in the ARC Trooper. In the ARC Trooper box, there's some good pistoleroing. That DC-17 on the holster and the hip.
Mm-hmm.
And just ready to quick draw on you. Pow. Done.
Your move, Clanker.
Oh. I don't think. I mean, definitely not B1s. B1s are not drawing anything quick. Magna Guard, maybe. That might be a challenge. Well, IG series Magna Guard.
Oh, yeah.
I can see them being quick on the draw.
Them boys know how to tussle.
Oh. Dana Scully, apparently, is what chat has named your new commander.
Oh, Scolder and Moldy?
No, not Moldy Skull. That's not the thing. Alright. All we really need to do is get those pants done, and then we're like in a really good spot. We're in a really good spot. Can we do it in 5 minutes though? Maybe. Still have to do the blasters, but those will be pretty easy. Blasters aren't too difficult. Put the wash on the pants. And of course, these guys have so many pouches, so many belts. They got everything. Their utility belts are not messing around.
They're geared up.
They are. They know. You don't want to be on the shore without your sunscreen of different types. They're all about that prepared life. They got all kinds of like drink mixes so they can stay refreshed and hydrated. They got the SPF going on. These boys and gals are ready. They're good to go. They're living that shore trooper life. But unfortunately for them, they were like, oh, shore trooper duty. This is amazing. And then they got there and like, but the shore is just the
It's just
cooled,
lava. The
it's
shore
the
is
cooled
lava.
pumicy crust of the magma ocean on which they're stationed. And they're like, ugh, this is the worst.
They hate their job.
They do. These they're not excited to be there. It's a pretty boring assignment, you know? Like Magma World isn't so much a heavily contested zone. It's very much Empire controlled. So there's not a lot of action there. It's just really hot, but you still have to wear all the armor. You hang out on the shore all the time, but it's not like the nice kind of sunbathy shore. It's just terrible. It's the worst deal ever.
See, now we're in like Tarkin being like, Commander Huldra, your squad will be deployed to, name a lava planet. Lava Planet 792. Lava Planet 792, sir? Yes, it's important.
It's critical to the Empire's ongoing efforts in the war against the rebellion, but it's also just a garbage assignment because it's hot and gross and nobody likes it.
And
And
it's lava.
then the space dinosaurs are really angry there because all they have to eat is like magma rock. They're like koala bears. All you can eat is eucalyptus. It's not a very nutritious meal. It
Like
just makes you cranky.
koalas and polar bear or panda bears, like they got
Yeah.
one specific thing, and it's not very nutritious.
Yeah. But this isn't by choice. The dewbacks are just forced to do that. All right, and I think with that, it's 1:58, so it is time for us to say our goodbyes.
Oh, so soon.
I know, so soon. Thank you so much for joining us, chat. Hope you had a blast. We got some really good progress going on all of the units. I have a little bit of work left to do on these shore troopers, but they should be in fighting order in no time flat. Of course, be sure to join us again on Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific, because I got lost. I got lost watching Dallas continue to paint.
Start it over. Take it back to the beginning.
John Schaefer and Michael Plummer will be back on with their gathering forces. They'll be continuing work on, Michael will be continuing work on his rebels, and John Schaefer will be continuing work on his Separatist Alliance, his B2 droid-centric army. And of course, we'll have some more staff picks from the amazing community submissions on our Instagram using hashtag MyStarWarsLegion and hashtag Gathering Forces. Till next time, be good to each other, be beautiful, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you so much, and goodbye.
Roger, over and out.